Hey guys, it's Friday afternoon and we're loading up, but before we head off for this weekend, I'm going to run you through what I think is probably one of the most important components of any Patriot camper, and that is our independent suspension by Cruisemaster. In front of me, I've got the X-Cruise suspension system, which I'm going to run you through in a second. But first of all, I want to talk about our relationship with Cruisemaster. Now, we've been with these guys from day one since the first inception of Patriot Campers. And when I started doing the research into the design and the products that I was going to use, there was only one option when it came to the off-road suspension. There's been many other goes at copying this over the past sort of 5 years in Australia, but Cruisemaster are staying in front of the game. They continue to innovate. They're releasing brand new models, brand new products coming out to the market and refining all of the gear that we trust. The XT suspension kit we fit under our toy haulers. ATX we're just getting into, look out for some big stuff coming from that suspension setup. But once again, I'm going to run you through the X-Cruise today because this is the number one product that we fit here at Patriot Campers. So why the X-Cruise suspension system? Well, X-Cruise was developed when we went to Cruisemaster and we said to the guys, look, because of the low tear weights of the Patriot Campers X1 and X2, we needed something with a lower unsprung weight, something that really matched the style of camper trailer that we were building. XT, it's worth noting, is in its 5th generation now. It's been through a redesign 5 different times over the years that it's been out. And once again, ATX, being their premium product, was just not suited to the X1 or X2. So the boys down there came up with this brand new design for us, primarily to lower that unsprung weight. The first feature of all the Cruisemaster suspension systems is they are developed, tried, tested, and most importantly manufactured right here in Queensland in Australia. We've got a company an hour from Patriot Campers headquarters that works with us in fine-tuning all of our suspension systems. Firstly, you want a suspension system that is rated for the maximum weight that you're going to be towing on that trailer. So that is your tear weight plus whatever you want to load up. And there's different points of variations, and they are modified by your shock absorber valving and obviously by your spring rate, either in your airbags or in your coil suspension. So that's number one. Number two, you need to decide on a chassis to face. So when you're designing a trailer, the dimension that Cruisemaster used to get the right offset of the wheels, and if you want to match your wheels to whatever vehicle you like, you need to get the point between the inside of the hinge or the outside of the chassis and the back of the hub, which is what they call their chassis to face. That will determine your offset, and if you want to match your offset between your trailer and your towing vehicle, that's exactly how you do it. The third thing you need to decide on is stud pattern. Now, 6 on 139 is probably your most common. That's going to suit most Japanese vehicles, but again, vehicle components will suit different stud threads, diameters, and different PCDs to accommodate absolutely any vehicle. One of the other choices that you need to make when you're ordering a suspension system from Cruisemaster is whether you go with drum or disc brakes. Now, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Disc brakes are better. There's no two ways about it, but they come at a very, very big cost. The drum brakes that are supplied with the Cruisemaster suspension systems, they're cast here in Australia. They're pretty much foolproof. We don't have any issues with them, and spare parts are available from these from any trailer store right across Australia. The next choice you need to make when you're ordering a suspension system is whether you go with springs or airbags. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that are hesitant to go with an airbags. Springs, they are what they are. They really don't fail. The spring rates are tuned, again, going back to whatever your load capacity is, and they're tuned in conjunction with the shocks. And I'll get to the shocks in a minute, but I'll talk about the airbags. Now, in 5 years of production at Patriot Campers, we've never had a failure on an actual airbag. For the first couple of years, I used to carry a spare airbag around with me when we went on all of our trips, and we never used one. I don't even bother with that anymore. We've gone always with Firestone bags, and the airbags are actually supplied by Airbag Men who have a really tight relationship with Cruisemaster. But what we've done when we've introduced the X-Cruise suspension is we've gone to a new roll sleeve type airbag. And what the roll sleeve bag is all about, it's got a progressive spring rate. So there's a piston at the bottom, there's a taper on the piston. As that airbag compresses, effectively what it does is changes the spring rate inside the bag through the volume of air that it's actually moving or pushing. So that's part of the technology that's moving with Cruisemaster and relationships like Airbag Man. We put a lot of testing into the ride of this suspension system in the previous models of Patriot Campers. They rode really well. but this thing here is on a whole nother level. I'll move to the shocks. All right, so in the shock, without rattling on and making this a shock video, these are a 35mm shock absorber. These are supplied with the kit from Cruisemaster. And as I said before, these shocks are actually valved to the airbag or the coil spring with the rate that you choose. They're a high quality shock, and I suppose what goes into making a high quality shock is obviously the quality of the components they put inside, the seals and the valves. We run a twin shock system on the X1. The twin shocks act as a bit of a fail-safe if you're doing long corrugation, so that you do burn out a shock absorber, and it does happen, you've still got a spare one. And what's going to protect you in the event of one of those failures, say that the worst was to happen, is big urethane bump stops. Now these are actually welded onto a chassis plate that goes onto your chassis, and same as the suspension hangers. The suspension hangers that hold in the front of the suspension system, they come with the kit. So for the DIY guy, the guy that wants to retrofit a suspension system into their caravan or camper trailer, the whole kit comes as a complete kit. You weld in the suspension hangers, it comes with all the bolts that you need. You've got adjustment for your camber and caster, right across the range of suspension from Cruisemaster. Urethane bushes, grease nipples, absolutely everything that you need to install the kit. So, speaking of fitting time, hey Spanners, AKA Dave.
Oh, what's happening?
He likes that name. We were just having a quick discussion off camera on whether we should call him Dave or Spanners for the purpose of this video. I like Spanners. Mate, let's talk about fitting time. Now, for us on the production line, obviously we're doing it a fair bit quicker than old mate would do it at home on the weekend or a retrofit. What would you call, say for a standard single axle kit, if someone was to drive into here with a leaf sprung caravan or camper trailer, but if you were to fit independent suspension kit to a leaf sprung, say caravan single axle, how long do you reckon it would take? Drive in, drive out.
You would have it dropping it off in the morning.
Yep.
They're rolling out, close of business that afternoon.
About an 8-hour fitment.
Yeah. And
tandem maybe a bit longer?
Maybe a bit longer tandem if there's a little bit more tuning needed.
Yep.
But it's torqued and aligned, ready to go on the same day.
Yep. And so what are your thoughts on, obviously you've experienced a lot of this sort of stuff with me. We put these trailers through their paces.
Yeah.
Let's give your honest opinion on the Cruisemaster gear.
I think, personally for me, and even, this is from day one too, the thing I touch the least is this suspension.
Yep. Crazy, isn't it?
Without a doubt.
Yep. Yeah. Look, worth noting as well, Cruisemaster do a lot of retrofitting out of their headquarters in Brisbane, so they have a department there. If you do have a caravan or a camper trailer that you love and you don't want to upgrade, but the suspension's just not cutting it, you might have a leaf sprung system, or you might have another system on there that you're not happy with. Get up there, talk to the guys at Cruisemaster.
It'd be well worth it.
And yeah, it's definitely well worth it. Check them out. Well, guys, that's it for us. We're going to finish loading up and we're out of here.